I know that after lunch, keeping you awake is going to be hard time. So I offer to be short and do my best. Being an observer suggests that I present my firm first, and I apologize for that. We are a full-service firm, about 50 lawyers. It was started by my father and uncle. This is 70 years ago. And we have been named the best firm of Ecuador by Chambers, by Legal 500, by Who's Who, but not every year, once in a while. Last year by Who's Who, 70% of our clients are foreign investors. So I believe that inviting you to consider the services of our firm for your clients if plan to invest in Ecuador, we offer our best efforts and quality. Ecuador, I know that it's an emerging country, small, 250,000 square meters. It's 14 million people, and therefore it's considered small, and it's not widely known. So I want to mention that in the last few months, we have had a increase in our economic growth from 0.2 for this year, and it is believed that for 2018 we will grow into 0.6, which is the monetary fund appraisal. The areas in which we believe will make us growth in the country, which are the ones you may consider suggesting or inviting your clients to invest, are in whatever regarded services for petroleum industry. Petroleum is our first income, and we are mining production as well. Agriculture, electricity projects, and there's a housing project that the new government has decided to. We have a shortage of 2,000 million houses, and therefore whatever effort is done to build, especially for the low economy income people, housing is a must. There's a significant Spanish investment into housing projects, and we have channeled some of those investments. I know that in the last 5 to 6 years, the world has known our country as a follower of the Venezuelan ex-president Chavez, and our ex-president Correa was following the same path. And the new president we have was his vice president, and he was elected by the same party. But for a surprise for private entrepreneurs and for professionals, this new president has changed the path of growing, is bringing new laws and is bringing a new tendency into, especially into exchange of thoughts of several production parties. So we are starting to believe, and we are not convinced yet, but we are starting to believe that Ecuador is to change, and for good. And this change is giving us this thought that we might have an opportunity for you all. Now, I should mention that one of the interests of Ecuador, in addition of being in the heart of South America, with neighbor countries as Peru and Colombia, biggest economy than ours, we have a US dollar as a monetary system. But let me explain, it's not a parallel system with our own currency. We lost our currency in 1999. We changed. Your friend Yamil Mawad was the president at that time, and he had to bring the dollar as the currency, and we lost our own. So we only have a dollar as a currency, which for investors is an opportunity to make sure you will not lose on the exchange. Investing in Ecuador for foreigners is acceptable up to 100% of the shares in a company. You only need 2 shareholders. And so by this monetary system, by opportunity to have a new company by 100% foreign investment, companies are done in 15 or 3 weeks. It's an opportunity. I already explained that we have a new government, and we are having substantial reforms into our tax system. Sales tax went from 14% to 12%. We have a income tax increase from 22 to 25, but it's still a low income tax compared to other countries. And there's going to be a very important it's going to be a very important benefit for new income coming into the country, especially if for companies that income is not higher than $300,000 per year. I know it's a low figure, but it has to be understood that 80% of Ecuadorian companies do not have an income higher than $300,000. So when you are given a opportunity of a tax benefit to that section of companies, you are definitely bringing investments. It is said, in addition of that, that we Ecuadorians have around $40,000 million out of the country, and we are just waiting for some incentive to bring it back. This government is giving us the incentive, which I don't call it incentive. They are forcing us to bring it back, because if you don't declare, we have to declare our patrimony. And if you don't declare your patrimony and you are found of having that capital out, you'll go to jail. So the question is going to be, should I go to jail or should I bring the money back? But Ecuador has a foreign debt of $60,000 million. So it is said that if we Ecuadorians bring back our foreign investments, let's say half of what we have outside, if we bring back $20,000, the country will recover in a fast speed. So if in addition of that, we can have real new foreign investment into the country, it is likely that it will be a boom. And I am an absolutely believer on emerging markets investments. South America is an opportunity, and I don't want to talk for my neighbors and other countries that have developed in a faster trend than ours. But Ecuador is definitely an opportunity. The market shouldn't be seen as the Ecuadorian market. It should be seen as the Andean market. At least our neighbor countries are flexible in the system of exchange of products. I know that we are, in the presentation, I was planning to speak about the European market and the relation with Ecuador. We have just joined the treaty that Ecuador and Colombia signed several years ago, but I'm going to jump on that because we have an expert here, Benita, that is going to talk on that, so I feel I shouldn't get into that. So with that, I think I have given you a fast, short after lunch introduction, which I hope gives you a interest in the country or in the Ecuadorians and our possibilities of investment. And if you are willing to get additional information, detail in your specific area of interest, I'll be glad to send you a copy of this presentation or provide you any specific information you require. Thank you.